Warschauer versus Gross, black versus blue. Of course, after the first game is over, Mr. Chapin will explain the rules, and I will have the 6-month premium giveaway. For our finals, we'll do the same thing, 12 months then. But right now, we do turn our attention to our first match of the day, the semifinals of our Standard Open, and Ben begins with simply a swamp. Mitch with an island, and he's got the first creature. It is a Cloudfin Raptor.
Yeah, I mean, Mono Blue has enjoyed a little bit of a renewal and success lately because of how strong it is against some of these decks like, Mono Red. But the reason that it kind of fell out of popularity before is that it's not exactly what you want to play against the two most popular strategies of blue-white control and black devotion.
We've got Evolution of a Cloudfin Raptor here from a Frostburn Weird. So that's going to turn to a 1-2 flyer, and in for a 1 we do go in the air. Warschauer is going to go down to 19. Gross does have Rapid Hybridization in his hand for Pack Rat, but Warschauer playing a Pack Rat on the play can be rather troublesome for the blue deck. It starts to become a race at this point. However, the Rat cannot attack just yet. Gross will take a draw here. It's another copy of Frostburn Weird, which can evolve the Raptor yet again. So the race is certainly on here early this morning in Portland.
Yeah, it's worth noting, Mitch did not end up playing the Rapid Hybridization. He could have played another Cloudfin Raptor and hybridized the Rat, but instead he's opting to develop his board, playing another Cloudfin Raptor and likely another Frostburn Weird.
More evolution here of the creatures, so that Raptor's going to turn into a 2-3. The other one will be a 1-2, and we're coming in for 2 in the air now. Warschauer, we'll see if he has any interest in maybe casting a removal spell, or if he's just going to stick to the Rat strategy. The Rats can quickly overwhelm an opponent, as we have seen many times here on the Open Series. And he will discard a Desecration Demon, pretty poor card given the situation. 1 Rat is on the way, so we've got 2 2/2s and potential for a whole lot more.
Yeah, I like this line from Mitch. I mean, you never want to be behind the gun against a Pack Rat, but he does have the sort of hand that can try to race pretty reasonably, particularly since he can use Rapid Hybridization to evolve both of his Cloudfin Raptors again. Potentially even just blocking a Rat, and then after combat, using Rapid Hybridization on his blocker.
Gross going to take a draw as Warschauer has no good attacks right now. An island is what he's found. He's looking for, looks like another spell or 2. You see his hand right now, double Rapid Hybridization and 2 islands. So if he can just find 1 more good spell, a Thassa, a Biden, something like that. To be
Master Waves would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, as it oftentimes is. We're going to come across for 3 in the air. Warschauer may have a removal spell to cast. You see his hand, 2 copies of Devour Flesh. But I imagine he wants to just stick to the rat-making strategy. It looks like he's going to take 3 and go down to 14.
It's interesting, in a spot like that, he's got to calculate, does he want to attack with a Frostburn Weird? Because potentially a Frostburn Weird could trade with any of these Rats. And if he attacks with if he attacks with 1, he can force a trade or put extra damage on Ben.
See Ben going to play a swamp. It looks like he's ready to start finally attacking with these pack of Rats with the ability, to make another one. So looks like in comes the youngster in just a moment. Number 1 overall seed, hasn't lost a match yet.
Yeah, no, he's just absolutely been on a tear this weekend. And the 3 Rats are getting in there.
So now it's decision-making time for Gross again. He's got these 2 Frostborns that he can block with, and he also has Rapid Hybridization in his hand, 2 copies to be exact. So now the big question is, how do I block? How do I maybe lure Ben in to making a bad decision, if it's even possible in this situation? And we are going to see, it looks like a discard of a Desecration Demon. So that,
as a general rule, generally like getting the original Pack Rat off the table first.
Okay.
With 1 copy of Cyclonic Rift, there's always the possibility. It looks like he is Rapid hybridizing the original token. So well aware of which one he wants to get off the table.
Frog Glitcher's going to come in. Those Rats will be 3 3s. This will be another Rapid Hybridization to take care of that one.
And this is a pretty sweet little blowout here, because now he gets to pump both Weirds, and he actually is killing every single Rat.
Yep. So activate 1, activate the other. Now those are 2 3 Weirds in the face of 2 2 Rats.
It's kind of hilarious. Ben Warschauer has a ultimate price in his hand, which cannot kill either of the Frostburn Weirds.
You know what stands up really well against 3 3s? 1 4s.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolutely just fantastic sequence by Mitch.
So Mitch can
Dealing
keep
with
doing what
4
he's...
pack rats in 1 turn.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mitch can keep doing what he was going to keep doing, which is attacking the air for 3, but Ultimate Price is going to take down the larger Cloudfin Raptor. Let's see if Mitch found a draw that helps. It's just an island, excuse me, a Nykthos before passing the turn back.
So he is a bit mana flooded, and he no longer has all that much pressure. He got himself out of a, kind of a sticky situation, but he isn't actually making that much progress. And now that Ben has an Underworld Connections, he's going to be very under the gun. He needs to add to his clock within the next 2 turns.
Yeah, we're certainly working ourselves into the mid game now, which is not a spot that Mitch wants to stay in for a long time. He can stay there for a little while, but the longer we go, especially with Ben drawing that Underworld Connections, the better off he is. Mitch draws a copy of Tidebinder Mage. That's not so bad.
No, that's totally respectable. And in fact, I think it means that you can actually just attack with everybody now. Evolving the Cloudfin Raptor, locking down one of the Frog Lizards, and having the ability to trade with the other one with your Frostburn Weirds.
So Cloudfin does evolve into a 2/3. We'll see if Gross wants to get aggressive with all these creatures or not. And he will, knowing that he does not want this game to go very long. He needs to get his opponent dead as fast as possible. We do have the ability to cast a Devour Flesh right now if you are Ben. That's the last card in his hand. There's the block on the Frostburn Weird. And it looks like it is going to be time for activations. A trade here. Nykthos is going to go active. That's going to generate 2, 4, 6, 7 blue mana. We'll probably see a bunch of pumps on both Frostburn Weirds, truth be told. It looks like this is going to be a Devour Flesh. So the big question here is, what creature do you sack if you're Mitch?
Yeah, likely the one that was blocked.
Okay. That is the one that will be sacrificed. Mitch will gain a little bit of life there, of course. 4, 5, 6 points of damage. Looks like that's what's going to come through. Warschauer is going to move down to 7. Wasn't able to activate Underworld Connections on Gross's turn, but he will now. This goes down to 6 to do so. You see the hand, a swamp, and another copy of Underworld Connections. I imagine you just have to deploy this other Connections. Might even want to play that land right now, too.
Yeah. Sadly, I think you got to. There's nothing to bluff. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. He needs to have some real sweet, sweet action next turn.
Gross draws.
Aha! A gross draw is a good way to describe that. Master of Waves, an absolute killer in this position. Yeah. It's going to make it real tough for Ben to even have outs to draw.
It really does vary how good that card is in this matchup. Sometimes it's great, other times it's poor, as black does have a lot of removal to keep it off the table. But right now, it's looking quite good. In comes everybody. And of course, he does have to block the Frostworm, excuse me, yeah, he has to block the Frostworm, because if he doesn't, it'll be lethal. Now here's a Master of Waves. So we count the Devotion, 2, 4, 5, and 6. 2/1 elementals coming to play. Gross going to confidently pass the turn back. Warschauer going to go down to 1. And it's going to have to be a pretty nice string of cards to get back into this thing.
So if he gets a Gray Merchant and a Swamp, yeah, and a Bile Blight as his 3,
Yeah, that'll get him back into it, but that's not what he found, and he is going to concede the game. Mitch Gross does win game number 1 here of our semifinals over Ben Warschauer. Mono Blue Devotion up a game over Mono Black, and Warschauer might actually end up losing a match here this weekend as we do bring it back to the booth. As it is trivia time, you have the rules, and I've got the question.
All right, so Cedric here has got a question for you that if you can produce the answer to, you will win. Well, you'll be entered in a drawing. You'll be one of many, many people entered into a drawing to possibly win 6 months of SCG Premium. You just tweet the answer at SCG Live. Use hashtag SCG Premium. And this contest is completely Star City Games. Nothing to do with Twitch, other than we love them, but they're not affiliated with the contest. It's at Star City's sole discretion.
Are we ready?
Absolutely.
6-month question. Pretty simple one. Over the past couple of standard tournaments we've had on the Open Series, the same archetype, same color deck has been winning. It's actually on a 3-peat right now on the Open Series. Even though no copies in the top 8 here in Portland, name the deck that has been on the 3-peat. Pretty general name, works for me.
There's been there's been a three-peat recently.
Yes, there's been a three-peat on the Open Series.
Yeah, I read that. That's that's exciting.
It's not going to happen this week, and no copies in the top 8, but if you can name that archetype, that deck, general name is going to work just fine. Make sure you hashtag the answer SCG Premium, and you're following at SCG Live, and we will announce the winner at the conclusion of our semifinal round, which does see Mono Blue up a game over Mono Black. A little bit surprising, given that Mono Black has been slicing and dicing its way through Mono Blue decks. Ben Warschauer taking down Josh Ravitch yesterday, but down a game right now.
Yeah, but you know what though? That was just a very well played game. I mean, setting up that turn with the two double, with the double rapid hybridization in order to get two favorable exchanges in combat. Yep. After luring Ben into having already used his mana for the rat.
We take a look at the sideboards here. We will start with Ben. He's got a Bioblight, 2 Dark Betrayal, 4 Doomblade, 2 Erebos God of the Dead, a Drown in Sorrow, 4 Duress, and a Read the Bones. Mr. Chapin, what do you like?
Definitely some of the spot removal, like most notably Bioblight and the 4 Doomblades. Definitely a fan of that. Drown in Sorrow is kind of tough. It depends on how you're going to end up wanting to play it. I don't hate it, but the problem is he doesn't really have very many bad cards to take out, Like, he isn't getting... I mean, the main thing is he's got to get those Lifebane Zombies out, I think. I mean, at different points in the past, Lifebane Zombie has been a totally fine card, but I think that the way that he's got to play the matchup this time around, that he's going to need to trim him. On Adam's side, he has access to an Annul, 2 Domestications, a Cyclonic Rift, a Dispel, 2 Dissolves, 4 Gainsays, 2 Negates, and 2 Jace Memory Adept. Oh, I'm sorry. Mitch's side, geez. He has a Claustrophobia, 3 Domestications, a Cyclonic Rift, a Dispel, a Dissolve, 2 Gainsays, 2 Negates, a Bident, 2 Jace, and a Mizium Skin. Not a whole lot of changes that are going to take place. The most important thing being just having access to, if he wants it, Planeswalkers. They're usually a little bit more of anti-blue-white cards, though. And then most of his tricks, I mean, most of these decks don't sideboard very much against black, just because most people are basically main deck sideboarded against black decks. So, I mean, he may want 1 Claustrophobia as an answer to a Desecration Demon. It's possible that he wants a Mizium Skin as an answer to Bioblight, but he's not going to do too much dramatic changing of the engine.
Looks like Warschauer is going to mulligan very quickly here as Gross is taking a look at his 7 cards. Pretty impressive run so far here by Mitch. Don't want to discount Ben either. And of course, when we do have an update on the other side of the bracket between Harper and Hunsaker, that's Junk mid-range versus Naya Hexproof. We will, of course, let you guys know that as well. Gross does keep his 7, and Warschauer looking for a better 6.
And this is one of the matchups where it really hurts having all the Lifebane Zombies instead of the Night Veil Specters.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Night Veil Spectre is just excellent in this matchup. And frankly, just Night Veil Spectre's strength against Mono Blue, against Mono Red, and against the Mirror, Mono Black. I definitely think that this is a time where you want to be at, where you often want to be at Night Veil Specters. Although Ben has been absolutely reaping the benefits of the main deck Lifebane Zombies in Swiss, and regardless of who is in the finals, either one is going to be an excellent Lifebane Zombie matchup.
That's true.
So definitely a good call for this particular day.
6 cards coming for the youngster. We'll see what Ben can find. Doesn't look too thrilled, but it will keep it. Better than nothing. There's a Swamp, passing the turn back over to Gross. Gross will take a draw here. Looks like he may have picked up a Cloudfin Raptor. And this will be a Judge's Familiar, so the draw that turn was a Thassa, God of the Sea. Certainly a good draw. You saw a Domestication in his hand as well. Let's see if he's got the Pack Rat here on turn number 2. It looks like Warschauer does not. I think he may have been considering casting a Devour Flesh, as getting the Judge's Familiar off the table will work just fine. Now Gross does draw a copy of Cloudfin Raptor. Here's an attack for 1. And you see Gross already ready to sacrifice the Judge's Familiar, so there's a Devour Flesh. Mitch will gain 1. We'll see what the follow play is going to be here. You do see an island. There is the Raptor. Before Gross does pass the turn back over to Warschauer. Plays a 3rd land, simply passes the turn back. Does Gross find a 3rd land? I do not believe did. So now this gets interesting.
Yeah, at least he has another creature to present, so that if he draws the land next turn, his Thassa is only, his Thassa is threatening to attack the turn after.
Tidebinder Mage will come in and evolve the Cloudfin Raptor into a 1-2. We'll see if Warschauer has any interest in casting a removal spell here or just taking one. And it looks like he will just take one down to 19. Ben will draw. Play a Swamp and a Desecration Demon.
This is a great time for Desecration Demon.
Yeah, it could have been a little too late to the party here, but because Gross did stumble and will continue to stumble, the 6/6 flyer is looking mighty fine.
And it looks like Mitch did bring in Domestication, which is the usual answer to Desecration Demon. Or not Desecration Demon, Night Veil Spectre, but with no Night Veil Spectres in the matchup, Mitch likely just wants to use it tactically to remove a demon or a rat.
Yep. Don't get to keep the demon, of course, but you can do just fine by holding on to it for just a moment. Gross will play a Frostburn Weird. Evolve the Cloudfin Raptor, but obviously no good attacks here. All I can do is pass the turn back in the face of the 6/6. Warschauer says, all right, I'm coming in for 6 right now. Gross is going to go down to 15. Now there's a Bile Blight to take care of the Cloudfin Raptor. Better targeting that than a Tidebinder Mage. So, Gross is going to need a third land like right now, and it's a Frostburn Weird that he draws emphatically.
I mean, he can play one more creature, so at least he's got some bodies down. He, at some point, is going to be threatening to bounce that demon to get a fog if he needs to. So, I mean, at least, and his domestications, when he eventually gets up to 4, are kind of fogs. Not even fogs, they're, they're kind of pseudo-bounce spells.
Being informed right now that Rob Hunsaker with Naya Hexproof does win game number 1 over Jesse Harper.
Naya Hexproof taking a lead in the junk match.
Yeah. Desecration was going to come across here for 6. Gross is going to go down to 9. And now this is a Gray Merchant. We'll have a response here. I believe we're going to get Desecration Demon off the battlefield. We will. So Gray
Excellent
Merchant
timing.
Gray Merchant will just gain and drain for 2. Gross is going to go down to 7. Warschauer is going to go up to 18. However, that Gray Merchant with the 4 toughness certainly still in the way. An emphatic draw was an island this time here for Gross. So that will be helpful.
I mean, that's a start. I mean, his back is up against the wall now, but the demon is actually, it is a creature that you can feed, and particularly nice with domestication. If you domestication the Gray Merchant, you can then feed your opponent's creatures to his demon. And in fact, if you end up with 2 demons, you can feed one to the other.
Yep. It can get interesting. Domestication does have some interesting uses in the matchup. We oftentimes do see blue players board that in against black. You see Warschauer's hand, it's all spells. Devour Flesh, a Bile Blight, another copy of Gray Merchant, and Desecration Demon. Gross at 7, Ben at a very healthy 18. But Gross trying to claw his way back into this one.
Dude, if I played mono blue, I think I would just play the Domestication's main. It always seems like you want to board him in against everybody.
It's a pretty nice card. I mean, we see the 1-ofs and 2s of, Bident and Jace. There's a Hall of Triumph now floating around in the deck list. Some number of Rapid Hybridizations. I don't think Rapid Hybrid can go anywhere, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a right metagame for Domestications in the main. You do seem to want to board in against a lot of people.
So Mitch has to be particularly careful because Ben has another Gray Merchant and is only 1 devotion away from actually just, going upstairs for the full amount.
Mutavault was the draw. You saw Mitch scry the top guard to the bottom. He's looking for lands right now. Mutavault certainly doesn't hurt. Now he's just trying to overcome Desecration Demon, not get burned out by Gray Merchant, as you did mention.
Well, this is not a bad little spot. I mean, he's been in, he got put into a tough spot, but he has the potential to drop a demon. To drop a domestication on the Gray Merchant if he wants, and set up for next turn, or he can attack with Thassa unblockable and just advance another creature that he's going to have to use to tap the demon. But either way, now that he's actually drawing a little bit of mana, he's got a few options. I got to give it to Mitch. This game was not an easy spot to be in, but he has danced himself into having fighting chances.
I mean, he's clawing his way back. I think that's really all you can ask for, right? As at least he's giving himself the best opportunity to get back into this game. This is going to be 4 mana. That's a domestication. And that is going to take the Gray Merchant. That'll remove Devotion and add Devotion for Mitch. So that is certainly important right now. Doesn't look like there's any good attacks being made right now, unfortunately, here for Gross.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to be willing to sacrifice the Gray Merchant.
All right, and he is. So now, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. Warschauer's going to go down to 10, it looks like. So getting aggressive, going to feed the demon. Warschauer's going to tap those 4 lands. And that 7/7 demon. Take a draw. There's a swamp to go along with a Bile Blight to devour flesh and a Gray Merchant. We'll see if Ben wants to start by casting removal spells. It looks like he does.
Oh, so this is, yeah, this is devastating.
Yep.
Having it now with Devour Flesh available. Oh wow, did he not?
Doesn't cast Devour Flesh there. I mean, doesn't really need to, I don't think. Like, I think he can just save the removal spell. Like, it doesn't kill him that turn because he gains life and goes above 7. So he can basically Bile Blight your creature. You have to sacrifice this or you die. Now you just have a lone Thassa. I have another removal spell and a Gray Merchant to work with. So I'm actually perfectly fine with that exchange.
Yeah, it's put Mitch in a situation where now he's kind of just resigned to feeding the demon.
Mm-hmm. This will be a Devour Flesh in response to the Frostburn Weird. Now, of course, you can activate Mutavault if you'd like. There actually may be some real interest in doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that would potentially be 1 extra life.
Yep. That looks like going to happen, yeah. So, going to activate Mutavault, gain a little bit more life. Of course, there's going to be the Evolve on the Raptor from the Frostburn. Going to pass the turn back. You see the Devotion count, it's at 4 right now. You have to imagine Cloud Raptor is going to bite the dust here to the Desecration Demon in some fashion, either attempted blocking.
He could just take the hit. He's at 9 now.
Yeah, that's a little risque.
Yeah, and as we know, Ben has another Gray Merchant.
Okay, he's going to take it, yeah. I guess he's just basically saying, I hope you don't have another Gray Merchant. Unfortunately for Mitch, he does. So that's a play there where I think Mitch is just trying to play to win instead of playing to not lose. And, you know, if he doesn't have another Gray Merchant, we're looking at a pretty interesting game there, but he does. And Warschauer is able to tie things up here with Gross, Mono Black Devotion, Mono Blue Devotion, headed to a 3rd game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Mitch stumbled on mana a little bit that game, but I think he put himself in chances, you know, gave himself chances to crawl back a little bit.
That's really interesting. I think that, you know, in that situation where it's like, well, of course you sacrifice the creature and then you make your guy a 9/9. But, you know, it's easy for us to say, and you guys at home as well, when you can just see the Gray Merchant in your opponent's hand. If you're just going down to 1 and your opponent doesn't have a Gray Merchant, we're looking at a different game there. You know, you're setting up more devotion. You know, you're picking and choosing on when you're sacrificing, and you're hoping kind of things break your way. Because, you know, I think you might be in a situation there where you just really can't afford to play around Gray Merchant at all. See, potentially.
Yeah, so that's why that's why every tournament deck is supposed to have 1 Glasses of Urza in it.
Ah, yes.
And if you need Trinket Mage to go get the glasses when you need them.
Take a little licksky poo.
Yeah. I think. No, you know what? I don't think that's actually what Tournament Magic
is that
is
not
all
good deck
about
building?
right now.
Is that not?
No, I mean.
Would you say that that's next level deck building?
No. You know, I think what they need is a 6-mana Glasses of Urza. Like.
It has to have some other things attached to it.
Well, no, just that way you can get it with Treasure Mage.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Maybe like, you know, look at your opponent's hand, and you know, they have to tell you which one's the best card in their hand.
Okay.
You know, get a little extra info.
There you go. They can't lie. Actually, okay, 6-mana Glasses of Urza. You look at their hand, and you get to look at the top card of their deck. You just get all the info.
That's not strong.
And we'll throw like the Staff of Nin effect on it too. There. So Staff of Nin with
you know
look
what it
at
could
the
be?
hand and top card of their
It could be
library.
6 mana, tap, look at their entire deck. Not their hand, but you can deduce their hand if you're really good.
Hadn't considered that. I like that. Let's open up the design space a little bit. 6-mana artifact, look at your opponent's deck.
That's not going to slow the game down at all either.
They're probably not, no. I mean, no
Every
worse.
turn, let me just look through your deck and deduce what you drew for the turn.
I mean, no worse than top. So.
It would actually, I think that's what it would take to be a worse design than top.
Yeah.
That's, That we haven't seen design the likes of design of that level since Urza's Saga.
I like it. Let's make something that's more horrible to play against than top. Like Thoughtseize. Okay, Thoughtseize isn't as bad as top. I take it back. Girl's going to be on the player taking a look at the opening hand.
You know the Magus of the Scroll, Magus of the Jar, that whole cycle,
Yeah.
Magus of the Candelabra?
Yep.
I want to know where Magus of the Top is.
Well, first of all, what color would it be?
Blue.
No.
Yeah. Why would it not be blue? That's a totally blue thing to be doing.
No. It could be like an artifact creature, so everybody can have it, just like top, see?
Blue for a 1/1. You can just pay a colorless to rearrange the top 3 cards of your library, and you can tap it and pay a mana to put it on top of your, draw a card and then put it on top of your deck.
You need to, these ideas could actually go through. And if this happens, I won't want to play Magic, so no more tops, please. I beg you. Plus, you've done enough topping in your day, top counterbalance. You have done enough spinning of top and all that stuff, all
Dude, I
right?
hate Sensei's Dividing Top.
Well, then why did you play next level blue?
Because I want to win.
Good answer. Good answer.
So Sensei's Dividing Top is like fetch lands. It's just like a lot of my life I can never have back.
Yeah. Because I want to win is a very good answer. Ben's good with his 6, Mitch with his 7, and a Cloudfin Raptor to begin game number 3.
Plus, when I was younger, I used to be more into that kind of stuff. I've seen the light. Nowadays, I want to play my monsters, and I want to make you discard all your cards that are good.
And then kill you with a Planeswalker.
Yeah, I don't really want to do the discard thing either. That's
Yeah,
just
I
because
didn't think
win.
so. Yeah, I didn't think so. See if Ben has a Bile for these. We'll see if Mitch has rapid hybridization, perhaps to counter a Bile and for a real blowout. Ben's going reaching for mana. Looks like maybe a little unsure of himself. We saw a list yesterday that has 4 copies of Bile Warschauer with 1 in his main, an additional 1 in the sideboard. He's just going to pass the turn back here. Gross is going to take a draw on turn number 3. It's a copy of Nightveil Spectre. Wow, he missed it again. Yes, he did.
Well, at least he could evolve these guys for a little while.
Oh, he's got plenty to do in the meantime. He has a copy of Frostmourne and a Tidebind Mage over there. But I imagine he was hoping for the 3rd mana to slam down maybe a Thassa or something else.
No. I think it's pretty clear. He was hoping to have a substandard draw.
Okay.
So that it'd be that much more exciting. So that it'd be like, be in question. It's a tough matchup, and he's on the draw, and he's missing land drops.
Better for us in the booth, better for everybody at home.
Yeah, I mean, this way, the pressure is on. This is how you build a resume. This is how you build a legacy.
So question here, how do you feel about him not playing anything there? I think what he's trying to do is just leave up rapid hybridization. He had the ability, of course, to play either a Frostmourne or a Tidebinder Mage. He elected to do neither. It's like he's kind of trying to jockey for position here.
Yeah, I mean, whatever Ben plays, Mitch could rapid hybridize, and then the Tidebinder could lock it down. But it looks like a Thoughtseize is going to remove any possibility of that avenue. So lots of options here. Nightveil Spectre, Bite into Thassa, Frostburn Weird, Tidebinder Mage, and the rapid hybridization we spoke of.
You see Ben's hand. He's got a Devour Flesh and Ultimate Price. He's going to take Nightveil Spectre. Nah, I guess I'm not too surprised. It's one of the better cards. There's the island.
Man. A day late and a dollar short.
Time to evolve the Raptor into a 1/2. And now we're coming in for 1. So not only finally Mitch can start dealing some damage here. You see Ben taking a look at that Ultimate Price. Looks like he's got some real interest in casting that, so. Might rapid hybrid his own creature right now, but he's gonna let that go, save that for a better spot.
What do you think? Where does Cloudfin Raptor fit on the all-time Raptor scale?
In comparison with?
Like things like Umaro Raptor. There's been lots of great Raptors in the history of Magic.
Shivan Raptor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember that one. I can't think of another one.
It's interesting how different Cloudfin Raptor is from Shivan Raptor. One of them is a little bit more on the dinosaur spectrum.
Yeah, just a touch different.
Yeah, the other Raptors are birds.
Lifebane Zombie. We're going to take a look here. Again, a Tiebinder Mage by Nefthasa and a Rapid Hybridization. No mystery cards over there, but that'll be Ben's clock for the game, I have to imagine. There's a Mutavault. Look at a good spot he had to get that Biden into play and get to work. In for one, and it's time to go cantripping.
Yeah, can't you trip like I do?
Warschauer going to take a draw here. You see his hand, Devour Flesh, Doomblade, and now a Swamp. Not the best hand here for Ben.
Yeah, and once he starts falling behind the Biden, it has a tendency to really snowball. This is such an aggressive attack. I mean, Mutavault and Frostburn Weird are both threatening to get in there, and if Mitch leads with a creature, that Mutavault will be able to get in there.
Pretty nice draw there from Gross and Domestication.
Absolutely.
Going to start by playing an island. Will he fire at Mutavault or just domesticate that 3-1? Yeah, I would have some real interest in doing that. Now, Warschauer may have some interest in Devour Fleshing himself to gain a little bit of life and make sure that Gross doesn't get this card, and that's exactly what he's going to do. However, Ben is now out of cards, and he's going to need some timely top decks. It might just start with a Desecration Demon.
I mean, this Mutavault with Biden is going to become a real problem real fast.
Gross going to take a draw here. It is a Thassa.
Oh my gosh. Talk about what the doctor ordered.
In for 2 we go. Damage will resolve. Biden trigger will as well. Warschauer's going to go down to 16, and more importantly for Gross, he is gaining cards, and now he's dropping the God of the Sea. Devotion is at 3. Won't take much more to turn that on. Warschauer's going to draw himself a card. It's a copy of Hero's Downfall, but that's not great right now.
No, this is real bad. Now, at least he can kill the Mutavault and slow down the card draw if Mitch has nothing. The problem, of course, Mitch has that one Tidebinder Mage.
Take a draw. Looks like another copy of Biden Thassa. Don't need another one of those. First one is certainly good enough. There's 2 mana. You have to imagine this with the Tidebinder Mage pre-combat to turn on the Thassa. An activation of the Mutavault. Both creatures will get into the red zone here. I have to imagine, yeah, we're going to take down the Tidebinder Mage with the Hero's Downfall to shut Thassa off. And now are we?
Oh my God.
The skin!
Yep.
And that is going to be a concession by Ben Warschauer, knowing he cannot come back from that card advantage. And Mitch Gross is on his way to the finals of our Standard Open here in Portland. Mono Blue Devotion, take it down. You see Ben's friends there supporting him, but Mitch Gross playing Mono Blue. He's headed to the finals. We'll see who he's going to play between Robert Hunsaker playing Naya Hexproof or Jesse Harper playing Junk.
That was just a very well played match by Mitch.
Yep.
I mean, Ben played very well too, but Mitch was impressive setting up a couple of turns and having the draws be against him. Like I told you, like right there,